How's everybody doing today? Well, as you all probably know, I'm coming to you live in my humble chariot. Figured I would do one of these. Been watching a lot of different videos here lately on the old YouTubes. There's a lot of stuff out there, in case y'all don't know. Probably mostly do, especially if you're watching this channel. Bunch of new YouTube stations coming here and there about people's lives, and it's showing pictures of flowers and whatnot. I would show that, but to be honest with you, there's not too many flowers around here that are very bright. At least not yet. I do live in the Midwest. I know somebody asked me that on one of my videos. I do live in the Midwest, middle of the country, mid-United States. Sometimes it's cold, sometimes it's hot, sometimes it's very cold, and sometimes it's very hot. It's one of those where you kind of don't know what you're going to get day to day, let alone hour to hour. So sometimes if it's super, super hot, we get a lot of nice flowers or nicer flowers. But if it's super, super cold, we really don't. Here lately, there's been a ton of just weird drivers. I mean, people want to go 20 miles an hour in a 60 mile an hour zone. Or my favorite is when they pass you going, 90 to nothing. Hammer down, boys, type of thing. Hammer down. And then they flip you off. That just, I'm just like, what the heck's going on here, I mean, I understand everybody wanting to put the hammer down. But if you can leave your house 5 minutes earlier, you don't have to worry about putting the hammer down to get to your destination. I'll take my time. I'll get where I need to go safely. Now, granted, there are some things I don't agree with. I think seatbelt laws are kind of one of those things where you should be able to judge yourself. I believe that if you're over, especially 21, you should be able to decide if you want to wear a seatbelt or not. Now, that being said, and don't get me wrong, I'm not condoning not wearing a seatbelt. I'm saying put your seatbelt on when you get in your car, truck, van, or sport utility vehicle, or utility vehicle in itself. But I am saying I think that laws ought to be changed on it. Kind of like I also agree, and I agree that it's a good thing to have insurance. Now, some of these states, you don't have to have a state minimum coverage, come to find out. Well, where I'm at, you do, and I really think it's a good idea. Now, that being said, you'll see vehicles all the time without insurance where I'm at, and if they get caught, they're going to pay a very hefty fine. Now, granted, that being said, this isn't California. I watched a video that this guy had this guy had this car in California, and it was a fairly new Dodge Challenger, a nice car, slick car. Well, the car's got a track mode. Well, apparently in California, you can't run your track mode on the street because people get mad at you. Well, cops get mad at you because it doesn't have the right emissions. So if you get caught running your track mode like this guy did, then the cop can pull you over for running said track mode and give you a ticket and have you go back to the dealership to get the track mode removed from your car. Now, I think that is a little extreme, but on the other hand, this is also coming from the state that argues with people in their emissions every time. They change their emissions all the time. It's a wonder that anybody can even breathe there because of all the smog. I mean, now granted, also, I'm not trying to dog California. I'm really, truly not. These are my opinions. This is how I feel. I'm just saying that sometimes certain things need to be overlooked. In the state I'm in, we do have a state inspection. It makes sure your horns are working, your lights work, turn signals, high beams, your tie rods, all that other stuff under the front end, even your serpentine belt. But some of those get a little bit extreme. You know, if your brakes are supposed to be at 0.004 of an inch and it's 3.9999999 thousandths, why not pass it? And I've worked at places where their state inspectors, you would have 2 state inspectors, and one would pass one car, and the other person wouldn't pass that car. So I've seen that. There's just a lot of different things going on right now. I figured I'd give you guys at least a tidbit about my life and stuff like that. Kind of this morning, old telephone says it's 58 degrees, but it says it feels like 56. Well, that's probably the coldest 56 I've experienced. Now, that being said, I'm also in short pants and short sleeves. Now, I do have a jacket next to me in my car. But I try to wear blue jeans. But where I'm going this morning, blue jeans isn't the thing you need to wear. And they told you that. So I'm just kind of subletting it with the shorts. I just figured I'd make a quick one of these and give everybody some opinions on some stuff. How does everybody feel about bad drivers, you know? How do you guys feel about your state regulations? Or even better, your country's regulations? Because I know there's a lot of people from different parts of the world that watch this. Also, another thing I realized, and I know, and I looked at the old digital screen, and it says that a lot of the people that are watching these videos are not subscribed. I would really appreciate it if you would like, share, subscribe. Tell your neighbors, tell your brother, tell your sister, tell whoever to please subscribe, because the more subscribers I get, really the better it looks for me, and the more likes I get. Even if you don't like my video and you dislike my video, it at least shows in the algorithm that it's been watched. But I would really appreciate you sharing, subscribing, and kind of telling people how you feel. You know, obviously, if you vex me in this thing, I will delete your comment. If you cuss at me in this in the comment section, I will delete your comment. If I don't like what's being said in the comment section, I've deleted comments before. Folks, be respectful. I don't have time for it. Y'all don't either. So, that being said, everybody can be adults. And even if you're not an adult, at least act like you're an adult. I really appreciate it. Y'all have a good day. Stay safe, sunny side up. And like my buddy Red Green always says, go ahead. Keep your stick on the ice, and I'm pulling for you. We're all in this together.